What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is December 26th of 2017. Well, folks, it's time for a daily update here on the DataDash channel, but first and foremost, I want to say for those of you who celebrate out there, hope you all had a wonderful Christmas with family and friends, and I hope you ate a lot of good food and talked to your grandma and grandpa about what a Bitcoin is. I heard many of you took the valiant sacrifice of spending the time and effort to teach people about Bitcoin during this holiday season, and as I told many people, I said, rather than politics, talk Bitcoin, all right? It's much easier to talk about. Well, I wouldn't say it's easier. Sometimes it's hard to explain. But anyways, on to the daily update, guys. Today, again, we're going to be focusing mostly on price action in these markets. It's really the thing that's not only just taking headlines in general, but it's got everyone's focus right now. And there really isn't much big news headlines out there in the crypto space. So we're just going to go ahead, take a little bit of a price analysis on the market, take a look at the market leaders, as well as some other altcoins out there that many of you have requested for me to cover. So let's go ahead and dive into the video. Well, first and foremost, if you can't tell from the chart here, Bitcoin finally getting an update here. I want to definitely focus in on this when we take a look at Bitcoin here in just a couple of minutes. But Bitcoin finally got a rebound over the past few hours, and now we're testing towards the $16,000 range. So we'll go ahead here. And we'll jump the gun here, take a little bit of a look here at Bitcoin. This is something we have to keep in mind here when we take a look at altcoins later on, because altcoins definitely have experienced quite a dip. There's only a few today that are really on the up and up comparative to Bitcoin, and that's mainly because Bitcoin just went up 50%. So we got another one of these colossal gains, or days where we have a ton of gains for Bitcoin, and because of that, altcoins feel a little bit of the pain. It can't keep up with that kind of momentum. So it's becoming obviously clear we've gotten past the 200-hour, we found support on it, and now we're going back into bull market for Bitcoin. Now, does that mean to be negative on altcoins? No, I honestly don't think it is, and I'll tell you guys why I think that is in just a few minutes, but I do want to say this is good. We've got Bitcoin out of the overbought area, and we found almost 2 bounces off of the 50-day. So we didn't end up going lower. It would have been nice to get Bitcoin down here at maybe like 10K, right on the 100-day moving average. It would have been healthy for Bitcoin, but it still is healthy at the fact that it came down to the 50-day, as it traditionally does on this bull run. So that tells me that Bitcoin itself is still wanting more. It wants more upside, much like other cryptocurrencies. And I think that as we'll take a look here at valuations, we have a very big target to go after before we really start seeing this market have a full-scale correction. And I guess we'll go ahead and take a look at that here. But nonetheless, Bitcoin's going on the up and up now. I think in the next few days or weeks, depending on the kind of momentum we have, sometime this week, I think we're going to retest the highs up here. And who knows, maybe we can break out to new highs for Bitcoin. That'd be awesome. And all the FUDsters and all the people who said that Bitcoin was crashing here will definitely see the price at all-time highs, hopefully. I don't know. I don't want to get too cocky, though. So we can take a look here at the monthly. As we can see, much like with Bitcoin, altcoins held a lot of their valuation. This was mostly due to Bitcoin's correction, and now we're starting to see both Bitcoin and altcoins hold pretty steady and go up towards their previous all-time highs. And with Bitcoin going back up to 18 to 19,000, we're going to get past this level. So I'm real excited to see. Hopefully we can break out to all-time highs. A lot of people have been asking me as well, what's my target for, maybe early 2018? And to be fair with you all, and I know this sounds really crazy, I honestly do not think the bull run's over. Now, you guys have been hearing me talk about a correction for a while, and we got that in Bitcoin. We got the correction from practically 20,000 all the way down to around the $12,000 range. It's an $8,000 pullback for Bitcoin. That's huge, and we obviously found the support we were looking for. Because of that, I think we're still on this bull run, guys. You got to keep in mind, I know it seems so crazy how fast these cryptos are getting valuation, but look at just how fast it's moving, okay? Over the past few months, just a few months ago, let's say, for example, Bitcoin was, or cryptocurrencies as a whole, were at $150 billion in valuation. Within less than a 3-month period, we're now up to almost $600 billion. That's $450 billion gain in valuation. That's 3 times additions to the market valuation. So you had 150 billion, 300 billion, 450 billion, 600 billion. I mean, it's just like huge chunks of valuation. And most of that has come over the past month in December. So we've practically, actually that's a good way to look at it as well. We were at $300 billion right at the beginning of December, and now we're practically at $600 billion. So we've doubled our valuation in less than a month. If this momentum keeps moving, we keep moving more parabolic, interest continues to grow, and institutional investors keep getting involved, we could see this at, and I know this sounds crazy, personally believe around $1 trillion valuation. And it feels so weird saying that because I genuinely believed, I remember when we were back, let's take it back a notch and stuff a few months ago. I remember covering the channel back here in June and July, and I thought of like the fantasy world. I was like, God, maybe in 3 or 4 years, crypto will be at like $1 trillion market cap or something. I thought it was going to be years ago, from the time we were covering Bitcoin back there at $2,000 to $3,000, and now we're still here in 2017, and almost testing past $600 billion. I mean, this is just ridiculous. It's crazy. But I do get it, though. We're talking about currencies here and the future of money and currencies. So, again, guys, I'm not negative on crypto, and it never really was. I was hoping we'd get a correction, and we did in Bitcoin. Just happened a little bit later than I expected. And we've been doing really good, guys. There's been a lot of great altcoin positions. Now, here's the thing. I know a lot of you are like, Nick, okay, with Bitcoin coming to the upside now and seeing a little bit of negative price action on the alts, why am I so optimistic that altcoins are going to continue to do well? Well, I'll tell you all. The whole thing for me is I take a look at market dominance, because that's what plays here. If altcoins are continuing to generally move up, even if Bitcoin's moving up, doesn't matter, so long as it outpaces it, you're going to see the dominance of Bitcoin drop, okay? And we've been seeing a general trend of this ever since back in May and June. Now, we have some upside for Bitcoin from time to time where altcoins kind of flush, they correct, and you see a lot of altcoins start to lose some of their valuation. This is usually flushing out the bad players. And this is always happening behind the scenes. As much as we can get full sweeping corrections like this, where a lot of players lose a lot of valuation and they never rise back up, and they get replaced with new projects, you always have these ones slowly in the background losing 20 to 30% of their valuation, and no one just seems to talk about it because there's so many different cryptos. But as we get more and more solidified projects out there, different types of decentralization outside of blockchain, or different approaches to being able to have a distributed, decentralized system, if you have more of these competitors coming out, more serious projects being developed, and more innovative solutions that actually apply towards multi-$100 billion, if not trillion-dollar markets, you're going to start to see Bitcoin continue to lose its dominance. And we can take a look here over the past month. Bitcoin has lost a lot of its dominance in the market. It just now had a little bit of a spike up recently with the recent jump up. So, what am I still set on target for Bitcoin going to? Well, I think in early 2018, we're going to see Bitcoin come around to this range at around the 37% range, like we saw back here. And we might even break down a little bit lower than that. And that's with Ethereum and a lot of these market leaders staying relatively low. Previously, you had the top 9 coins. You had Ethereum, Ripple, and a few others kind of taking that market share from Bitcoin. But now you have it coming in the form of something that I think so many people aren't focusing on. It's not Ethereum, not Bitcoin Cash, not Litecoin, Ripple, Dash, Neem, Monero, IOTA, or Neo. It's the other factor, okay? As more and more projects are coming into the space, and more of them, still a minute fraction, it's quite small, of projects that are actually optimistic, they will take more and more of the dominance of cryptocurrency markets. I've been saying this for quite some time on my channel that I believe, and I know some people might find it crazy and stuff, but I think long term on things, and I try to kind of guesstimate in markets where things are going to be. And I've kind of thought about it in 2018, I think, whether it be in mid or late 2018, you're going to see Bitcoin dominance at 25%. You're going to see the other 9 market leaders that are listed here around 25%, whether one of them gets replaced or not. Usually I think the general 9 are going to hold the other 25%, so the top 10 in total will hold 50%. And then I think you're going to see other coins hold 50%. The reason I'm saying this is because you have to consider a few things. Yes, the quality of all those, thousands of coins isn't all that great. There's only a few players in there that are really stellar winners. But whether it's 50 of them or 100 of them that are really good quality projects, that is such a higher ratio comparative to 10 coins. So you're going to have more and more of these other altcoins continue to rally. Optimism is flourishing into the more high-risk plays in this market, especially as we move higher and higher, because everyone's betting on getting the next top 10 coin. That's just what's happening in this market. And if you find good projects, and really all you have to do is do your due diligence, diversify a little bit, and if you can pick 1 or 2 great projects, you're going to do great. That's the name of the game here, guys. And I want to help you all as much as I can. I could probably sit here and tell you, what are those coins? I don't know, guys. You've heard me talk about, some projects out there that are very good and I'm very optimistic on, but if you do your due diligence, if you stay straightforward on the idea that Bitcoin is going to continue to lose dominance, I think that you can find some really good projects out there if you do your research. And again, I'm pretty transparent with you guys on what projects I'm optimistic on. You've just got to do your research and stuff on this. So again, I think you're going to continue to see dominance go down on Bitcoin here. I think altcoins are going to continue to rise, and I think that you're going to see the top 9 generally hold where they are, if not lose a little bit of their dominance and stuff, because I think they're going to rough out around 25%, and they hold a little bit more than that right now. Okay, so seeing as I'm feeling a little bit festive and stuff, and seeing as there's not too many headlines right now because everyone's been off, rather than writing articles for CoinDesk and Cointelegraph, they've been home with their family and friends. Let's go ahead and take a look at something that does not rest, and that is market price action. So, many people were talking to me about Verge when I did my video last week, and they thought I was silly for saying that Verge was going to get resistance at 2,000. Well, it got shot down at 2,000. The reason being for that was because, oops, my phone dropped. The reason for that, the reason why I dropped to 2,000, ironically enough, is because the asks on the order book were massive. There was huge sell walls at 2,000. And that's why I tell people, for example, that big evens matter. You need to consider these when you're making trades, and not to get carried away and think that, that this can never pull back. We're up, 50 or 40 times our original valuation from a week ago. We really have to consider that, guys. This thing was at 50 Satoshis back about a week ago. Look at the daily chart. Let's go ahead and take a look here. About a week or two ago, this was back at 50 Satoshis and went all the way up to 2,000, about a week and a half. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Now, I'm all excited for, Verge in the sense of the Wraith protocol. I've been hearing there's some drama and some worry with it. I think, FUD generally comes with any kind of pullback. You need a catalyst to cause it. And I don't know if the Wraith protocol, I know some people, I was talking to the Discord and they were saying how the Wraith protocol wasn't going to come through, or there were supposedly rumors and stuff. And that always lingers around when something is overvalued and when big market players want a correction. Again, it happens, guys. And that's why I was telling you all to be careful, not adding at the top after something's gone up 40 times its valuation. Now, you're playing with Verge at a 50% discount. Again, I love to use the analogy of going out shopping. Would you like to buy something when everyone else is wanting to buy it and you're going to have to pay a premium on the price? Or you go like late at night or something when they're about to close shop, no one's there, and you can get it at like a 50% discount. That sounds fun to me. I would like to get the 50% discount. I'm someone who kind of lurks in the shadows and is like, oh, okay, I'll get it when no one else wants it. Because to me, what's nice is that if I can buy it at this discount, if I get an opportunity like this, I can not only hold double the position I would have originally bought up here, but I have a much more favorable risk to reward ratio. I have much more of a chance of actually making a gain on this rather than buying this at all-time highs, so long as the fundamentals are still in check. So, again, I'm not saying that you all should just go pick up Verge here. I'm just saying this is more the zone where you want to look for things when it's down 50%, not when it's up here at the top at 2,000 Satoshis. Now, keep in mind, and this is why I'm not going to go all, absolute bullish on this. This is still a $2 billion currency, guys. It's riding off a lot of hype right now. Okay, not being negative on Verge. Still, honestly, I think it's taking the spotlight. Outside of Monero, it's the second leading privacy coin, or maybe you could argue Dash is in there as well, but really fully centered around privacy. Verge has made a name for itself. It's become one of the larger players in the space, and really out of nowhere. So keep in mind that you could see a little bit more correction in this, but I think that Verge is still something to keep an eye on and stuff. And if they do launch the Wraith protocol, if all the FUD is ingenuine and not real, then this might be a decent price to look at it. But I'll be honest, I haven't made any big positions in Verge. I think it possibly could go a little bit lower before I ever get involved in it. All right, so next up, Icon. A lot of you were, messaging me about this last night and stuff, and this really kind of picked up over the past day or so. But I had gotten a lot of messages over yesterday and stuff about saying, "Oh my God, Nick, Icon's pulling back and stuff," and I just got into it and stuff like that, and here. So basically, we'll break it down here to the 30-minute here, so we can see the correction has started to come in. We went down from 5,300 Satoshis down to 3,000 Satoshis. Well, It's understandable why it's doing this, guys. This thing has been going parabolic for the past few days. You get corrections like this, especially after Bitcoin, for example, is going up 15%. Comparatively, yeah, you're going to see it drop a little bit. Now, it only lost a little bit of its USD valuation. Not too much, really. It's just because Bitcoin moved up a lot. And because of that, yeah, you're going to get corrections like this. But it's not the time to just, for example, buy it at the top and then sell when it has a 30% pullback. If you're long-term on it, like I am, for example, well, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to, instruct you to do it. Here's what Nick says. But for example, I added to my position here on the dip. Now, I'm still a little bit down on that addition, but I'm not going to panic on it. I got it at a discount from the top. Again, you got to give things time, guys. You got to give things room to breathe and give it some time to flourish, and have a healthy uptrend, not just a strict parabolic uptrend. And if we take a look at CoinMarketCap, I know they finally got the coin listed on there, and the valuation is, I think, at 1.4 or 1.5 billion. So we're definitely gaining some valuation on it. It's understandable why it needs to correct, but I think personally it's something that could get around Neo's price range. When the mainnet launches and all of the hype that's going into it right now really gets kind of factored in, not to mention just seeing it launch on South Korean exchanges would be huge. That's the big thing that I think everyone's kind of looking forward to. This could easily be a $4 or $5 billion cryptocurrency. It's one of those institutional plays, or not institutional, sorry, enterprise solution cryptocurrencies that I'm really optimistic about. So keep an eye on that. And along with that as well, Wabi at a nice discount, over 33% off of its highs, or actually more than 33%, almost 40%. So definitely good pullback on Wabi. I'd say to keep an eye on this so long as it holds above 10,000 Satoshis, and it looks like you've got the support definitely with the bids on the order book. Along with that, Sub as well. Sub had a nice correction here. Again, I wish I had more Bitcoin to buy on altcoins, but I have my committed Bitcoin position that I'm not touching. So definitely there's some cheap altcoins here, guys. Again, Tron, for example, finally getting some correction. I think personally this has possibly got a little bit more room to go, kind of like Verge. These ones moved multiple times their valuation over the past few days, and I think they need a little bit more than a 50% correction from the highs. So again, much like Verge, Tron was a $4.4 billion currency the other day, and now it's down to 2.4. Shows you how fast these markets can move, guys. I really want to emphasize there's a lot of great opportunity, but you do not want to play at the highs right now. There's so many great players that open up at 40 or 50% discounts, and you can ride those, and you can make a lot of really good trades. Really. This market is providing a lot of great opportunity, not to mention on a lot of great projects that are fun to invest in. You feel positive investing into, and aren't just crappy coins like we had to invest in back in May and June and previously in the original bull run. We're getting an opportunity to trade and invest in projects that are much more believable, much more solidified, and actually much more practical for the long term. All right, everyone. Well, anyways, everyone, that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching. What do you all think about current markets right now? Really curious to hear what you all think about it in regards to altcoins versus Bitcoin. Do you think that with Bitcoin going up, we're going to see altcoins correct? Or do you think we're going to see them in synchronization and maybe altcoins even continue to outpace Bitcoin and see Bitcoin lose dominance in the market? Love to hear what you all think down in the comments down below. But until then, everyone, I will see you all in the next video. Stay tuned.